Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're gonna be walking through my minimalist photography carry, and this is what I carry on a near everyday basis when I go out to take photos or to make vlogs. This is gonna be a very interesting video because I can tell you one thing, there are not too many things in this carry at all, but it can do so much. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so here in front of me, we have got a handful of items, and let's start with probably the most interesting one of them all. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Zach, what do you mean interesting? It's a phone, everyone has a phone. How is this interesting in a photography carry? Well, this, believe it or not, is actually my main vlogging camera as well. Not only do I love to be able to just carry this around and be able to shoot YouTube videos for you guys, the last 2 YouTube vlogs that I did, I would say at least 50%, definitely more the one I shot in Sydney, but at least 50% of those videos were shot on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it is incredible. Not only can you shoot log, which is great, but you can also use dynamic active stabilization or action mode or whatever they call it inside of the iPhone camera app, and this makes your footage look so smooth and so clean. It's ridiculous. So this is the first item on the list. I've also loved the photography capability from this iPhone as well. I shot a complete street photography day in Lisbon a handful of months ago, just when this phone came out, and had an absolute blast doing so. So this is definitely not an underrated piece of gear. I love being able to carry this phone around to shoot everything I need. And of course, the best part is it's also a phone. So you throw a SIM card in here, which it already has one in, and then all of a sudden you can call and text and email and check YouTube Studio to see how your last video is doing. Anyway, this is piece number 1. I absolutely love being able to carry this around, and it'll be very interesting to see what the iPhone 16 carries this year. Okay, so with this now out of the way, let's dive into something that probably isn't needed all the time, but something that I definitely carry all the time, and this is the Mini 4 Pro. This little guy kind of blew me away, and here's why. I was always very skeptical about small drones. I mean, look at this. This is my hand, and I have pretty regular size hands. Look at that. Same size as my hand, arguably a little bit smaller. And the footage and photos coming from this drone are actually pretty damn good. I made a review of this drone when I was in New Zealand, and this little guy kind of took my breath away. Not only does the battery life absolutely crush, but like I said, the images and video coming out of this drone are incredible for such a tiny little camera. It is ridiculous. Anyway, one of the things I love about this drone is once you kind of open it up and once you've got the battery popped in, this thing is still very small, and it also falls under the 250 gram rule, which allows you to kind of fly in a load of other locations you either wouldn't be able to fly drones in. Of course, always do your research, but it's definitely a nice, I guess, perk to have. And with it only weighing, let's say 250 grams, it's kind of nice. You hardly notice it in your bag at all. Of course, apart from the extra batteries if you want to carry them, which I don't on my everyday carry, but I have to obviously carry the remote for this thing, otherwise it's not going to fly itself. Anyway, this little guy always allows me to capture aerial shots, which makes my life so much easier. It's also really quiet. So when you're taking this thing off, no one's looking at you. You know, you're not drawing a whole load of attention than you would be if you were, let's say, taking off a Mavic 3 Classic or a Mavic 3 Pro or one of those giant big Phantom 4 drones way back in the day. Anyway, this guy's super quiet, so it's super easy to take off and land with no extra attention. All right, moving into a crucial part of this pack, but definitely not an exciting one. We've got a USB-C SD card reader, and that is because the iPhone 15 Pro has a USB-C port. So if I want to be taking photos from my drone or from my camera, which you're about to find out about, I can simply just plug that in, SD card straight in there, and I can use this pretty much as a file transferring device. I can send photos to an SSD once they're on my phone, and I can also send them straight to Lightroom Mobile, which makes my workflow super, super easy. Okay, with those now out of the way, let's dive into the camera of choice, and that is the Sony a7C Mark II. When I got this camera, I thought this was just going to be my B camera. I'm currently shooting on the Sony ZV-E1, and while I prefer taking video on the ZV-E1, the video on this camera is not bad at all, and the photos run rings around the ZV-E1, which makes it perfect for this minimalist photography pack. See, if I want to shoot video on here, I can. I can shoot 4K 30 in 10-bit, which is downsampled from what I believe is 7K, which makes the video look incredibly good. Now, there's no crop when you're shooting in 30 FPS. However, there is a crop when you shoot in 50 or 60 FPS, which is what I find myself shooting in a lot of the times when I'm out shooting cinematic stuff. So yes, this is perfect for vlogs, but it's not great for when I'm out shooting a project, when I'm out shooting stuff for Instagram Reels or so on and so forth. So for that, I do use the ZV-E1, but like I said, this is perfect for the minimalist pack because of the full frame, 33 megapixel. Oh, even better, it kind of always keeps the shutter down when the camera is off, so no dust gets on the sensor. Anyway, like I was saying, it's got a 33 megapixel sensor in here, which makes it incredibly good for photos. So not only can I shoot great looking video on here, not only can I vlog on here if I wanted to, I could shoot these talking head videos if I wanted to, and I can take great photos on here. The A7C II is an absolute no-brainer. I also love how it has the little viewfinder up here. While it's not an amazing viewfinder at all, the ZV-E1 that I'm shooting this on now doesn't have one at all. And I love being able to put this up to your eye just to cut out all the other light and just focus on what the camera is focusing on, but focusing on your composition and focusing on what is in your shot. The viewfinder is a very nice touch. All right, and last but not least, the lens that goes on the front of the A7C Mark II. Surprise, surprise, it is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8. I have come to absolutely love this lens. When I bought it, I was a little bit hesitant, only because the G Master Mark II was already out, the 24-70 f2.8 G Master Mark II. And of course, in my eyes, that was definitely the way forward. I was coming over from Canon where I was shooting everything on the professional L line of glass that Canon makes. So the G Master I just thought was the logical step forward. Of course, with the G Master tag, you get the G Master price tag, which is definitely not nice. The G Master price tag for the 24-70 was sitting roughly about $2,000 to $2,500 US. This, just under $1,000 US. What an absolute steal of a lens. I have loved using this lens. The optics, the image quality look absolutely amazing. And of course, being able to go from 24 all the way to 70 makes it the perfect versatile lens to whack on the front of this camera and be done with it. I feel like there's not much I can't shoot, maybe aside from wildlife or sports photography, which I don't seem to do on an everyday basis, that I can't shoot on the 24-70. This lens just does it all. And if I needed to vlog on this, push come to shove, let's say it was really low light and the ultra wide angle on the back of the iPhone 15 Pro just was not serving me, well, I could whack this into 24 millimeters. I've got no crop on the A7C when shooting in 4K. Boom, put them together, and I've got a little vlogging setup. So anyway, that is gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, let me know down below. If you've got a minimalist photography pack, let me know what you shoot with down below as well. And guys, as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.